All right, let's bring in constitutional law attorney Jonathan Turley, who's also a professor at GW University, as well as a Fox contributor, to dig into the legal angle and the case that is being built by the Justice Department here. Jonathan, these protesters clearly went into this church because they believe one of the pastors is sort of moonlights as an ICE field director in Minnesota. You just heard Greg Bovino there. He told John the DOJ is investigating this, so neither confirmation nor denial on that point. But whether the pastor is also an ICE officer or not, does that change any of the legal calculus here?
No, Jillian, it doesn't. The Department of Justice is likely to proceed through its Civil Rights Division. Because they targeted a church, they are looking into whether the civil rights of those congregants were violated. Making things worse for these groups is one of the organizers said that all of these congregants have to look at their, quote, theology and look within their hearts. And so there is this question of whether the church itself and the congregants were being targeted. So there is ground here for the Civil Rights Division to investigate. Now, whether you could make a civil rights case out of that, I'm not so sure. You know, a lot of judges would look at this and say, I see this as a political protest. But what's also fascinating is the lack of deterrent from local officials. You know, at a minimum, this is trespass and disorderly conduct under state law. We haven't even heard from the governor to condemn what was a grotesque and offensive mob action against this church.
To give you a sense of what Justice Department officials are thinking right now, Harmeet Dillon, Assistant Attorney General, says it's illegal to protest inside churches, period. She says a house of worship is not a public forum for your protest. It's a space protected from exactly such acts by federal, criminal, and civil laws. Is that true?
Yes. I mean, there are lots of laws that can come into play, particularly state laws, which are the easiest to use here. Federal laws, you will get into a fight over whether the motivation was political as opposed to religious or racist. But there are grounds here for the investigation. Dylan is correct on that. What I think is really quite conspicuous is the absence of state deterrence and enforcement. I mean, there has to be at some point in which Governor Walz and Mayor Frey will come out and say enough. I mean, for the love of Mike, so you've got to stop this. But we haven't really heard that coming from these local politicians.
Another thread in the argument that seems to be emerging right now from the Justice Department comes from Alina Habba, who said, I'll paraphrase, that the DOJ is going to look into whoever is funding this protest and potentially go after whatever individuals or organizations are involved. What do you make of that angle on this?
Well, when you see crimes like this, and they were told to leave, so there are crimes here, as I said, particularly state crimes, you really lay yourself open to an investigation as to who is supporting you in this effort. Now, that comes with serious First Amendment protections. You don't want the government to use a pretext to go and try to find out what political groups are being funded by what individuals. So the courts have always struggled with that. And so the question here is, how is the specific reason for the federal government to demand that information and how far they will go? But once they do pursue that line of questioning, it's going to trigger some free speech issues.
Yeah, exactly. It brings the FACE Act into play, as I understand it, which carves out exceptions to the sort of general protest laws, right, for churches or houses of worship and abortion clinics.
That's correct. And so this is a well-tread area of litigation. So the important thing here is that the federal government does have authority to move here, and in the absence of state and local efforts, they may be the only group that's seriously moving to force any accountability on this issue.
Interesting. All right, Jonathan, we got to leave it there. Thank you for taking time with us.
Thanks, Julie. Thanks.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.